Hello. Um, it's been a minute, and to be frank, I don't remember anything I said last time. So, um, I do know that I mentioned I started bulking again. I have reached the end of like the actively gaining weight phase, and I'm now doing a maintenance period for about a month. Um, and that like cutoff point between those two phases was like a couple days ago. Um, no, it's more like a week ago at this point. Now that I think about it, fuck. This year is already zapping by. I have turned 29 years old, which is it's a lot to think about. I don't know if I've even posted since this has happened, but I do have a steady job again. If I haven't mentioned that already, um, it is a warehouse job, and I don't get a whole lot of hours, like 30 ish a week, maybe a little more than that. Um, and the pay is, it would be okay if I was getting my 40 hours, but at the reduced hours that I am getting, it's still a bit of a struggle. I'm not going to lie. Um, which feels great at now 29 years old, almost 30, and it's still like, okay, so my fucking car battery died the other day, right? I was about to leave work, like work had finished. I got out to the parking lot. I went to turn my car on and it wouldn't start. Um, the lights on the instrument panel were coming on and there was like a noise. People say clicking. It sounds more like creaking to me, like a door creaking open. Um, and I popped my hood and I got back in the car, but I left the driver door open and the hood up and tried the key again. And it sounded like a distinct sound of something spinning. I'm not a car guy, if you haven't fucking noticed. I didn't even start driving until like my early to mid 20s, anyways, because of all of my family drama related to the fact that they did not handle all of this very well. Anyways, yeah, I don't really know that much about cars, but I knew like shit. It looks like I need a jump from somebody. So like I'm standing there in the parking lot at work, and I was one of the later people to leave because there's like all these different like lines in there, and mine was one of the last ones working. So like the place is already a bit of a ghost town at this point. I did see a guy walking into his car, and I was like, "Hey, would you be able to give me a jump?" And he's like, "I don't have cables," and I'm like, "Well, I don't either." So I ended up going to the security booth. They told me to go to maintenance, like to go back into the building and go to maintenance. I didn't even know I was allowed to do that, but anyways, um, they let me through. I went to the office, and I'm like, I don't know who or where maintenance is, but like one of the trainers was walking by, and I explained my situation to her, and she got one of my managers. He went out to his truck with me, got a battery pack, took it back to my car, and the battery pack thing didn't have enough juice. So he tracked down somebody else. Theirs worked. I was finally able to go home, and so I went home. I had my coffee. I took an edible. I had breakfast, and I just chilled for a moment because like it's a fucking exhausting job. Despite the short shifts, I don't know if I could do that for a full 8 hours, 5 to 6 days a week. But I mean, I'm already doing 4 or 5, 6 days a week, so I don't know, maybe. But God, it would be hard. So yeah, I just took it easy for a while and did some other shit around the house for a few hours. And I was like, okay, I need to fucking bite the bullet. Fuck my social anxiety. I got to go get my fucking battery tested because I know AutoZone tests them for free. If you're not in the US, sorry. I assume you probably don't have AutoZone. It's a chain store, anyways. I went there, they tested the battery, and she showed me the screen on the thing, and it just said fail in big red text. And I was like, okay, That's pretty unambiguous. Looks like I need a new battery. Between buying a battery and like the replacement like kit thing with like the grease and the like felt cloth washer thingies that go around the terminals, just for those two items, $230. Ugh. Yeah, that hurt. That hurt like a motherfucker. I had just gotten like $200 in birthday money from my parents. I just did my taxes. I'm not getting shit back on that, to be honest. Like 250 or something like that. So like those two things were like a big break for me, but then 230 just pissed into the wind over a fucking car battery. But I don't have a choice. I gotta drive to get to work. So yeah, I fucking I brought that goddamn battery home, and I don't even have sockets or anything. I grabbed an adjustable wrench and I went outside and I changed my fucking battery. And then I took the old one back to AutoZone and got a whole $22 back for it. Um, cool. Better than not getting anything back. But yeah, um, that was painful. And so it's just like, I'm almost 30 and I'm still at the point where like if I need to replace my car battery all of a sudden it just completely fucks me over. Like, it's sleep for dinner for a month because I had to change my car battery. Yeah, it's distressing. Then again, I know like so much of my age cohort is in this exact same position right now and just like doesn't really admit it. People don't really talk about it that much. And it's just, sometimes I'm really harshly judgmental of myself and feel like such a loser and a failure because like I see like social media and shit like that, movies, TV, whatever, where everybody seems to be having this like cool, cute, quirky, upscale fucking LA lifestyle or whatever, and it's just like no, it's like maybe 20% of us at best are actually living that way, and the other 80% are just unabashedly not having that lifestyle, or they're putting it on the credit card, or their parents are buying it for them. And so I don't know. I feel like it's realistic to say that I am not like an example of the worst of our generation. Um, I'm closer to the middle, but I still know that like if I had made better decisions at certain points in my life, I would be further than I am now. And I just have to live with that I'm almost 30 and struggling. And it's sure, there's a lot of it that we can put on society, but there's still plenty of blame on me, too. Anyways, yeah, enough about my headspace. Yeah, so that job, it's taking up a lot of time, 6 days a week. Like I said, I'm not actually getting scheduled. They scheduled me for 5, but I just go in the app and pick up a sixth one immediately because I need the fucking money. So, um, they've got me for 5 this week, and they're not even giving me the option to pick out a sixth shift. So I'm probably gonna end up fucking door dashing on Wednesday. But regardless, yeah, I'm finding it challenging to balance the job, meal prep, cardio, and weights all at the same time. As well as I don't know if I mentioned last time, but I'm running a fucking Dungeons and Dragons group with my friends, and it's every other Saturday. So I have 2 weeks to prepare for a D&D session, do all of my fucking meal preps, which, I have to cook basically a batch of 4 meal preps every single day because I've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner to account for every day. And, I just, by the limitations of my kitchen equipment and like the sizes of packaging and shit like that, it's most convenient that I do batches of 4. So I'll do like 4 breakfast trays. The next day I do 4 lunch trays. The next day I would do 4 dinner. The day after that, it's basically time to replace the fucking breakfast trays again. And there's some days where I don't cook at all because I'm fully caught up. But that rarely happens because I keep skipping, I keep falling behind, and it just, I'm never caught up. Like this week, I took an extra rest day on my weights regimen, which, like, I know for a lot of you, you're like, oh my God, this guy took one extra rest day and he's going to bitch about it. It stresses me out. Like, I want to be getting the best results. I want to be doing the most. I want to be making the most progress the quickest, which I know is not a good mindset to be in, but it just feels like I'm so, I'm behind in life in general, but it's just like, my body is crap. I can't do anything about my ugly ass face. I'm fucking broke. I don't have much in the way of social contacts. I don't have a good relationship with my family aside from my brother. Um, she and I have barely spoken in months now. The winter was just really fucking emotionally hard on me, and there's just so much pressing down on me emotionally right now that something as small as taking an extra rest day or skipping making a meal prep batch when I know that I need to stresses me out so bad. Um, because this shit is all really important to me, but it all takes so much time. On top of just the usual household chores and shit like that. So basically, like a lot of my old hobbies or whatever are just completely gone by the wayside. It is what it is, I suppose. But if I'm gonna be fucking posting these, I might as well share something. But anyways, to get back to the bulk thing, I started. I want to say I was floating between like 190 to 195 when I started, and that would have been in January. I don't remember if it was early January, late January. Couldn't tell you. And right now I'm floating somewhere in the 205 to 210 range pounds, of course. I am from Burgerland after all. Um, so I gained, what is that, 15-ish pounds? Somewhere in the 10 to 20 leaning towards 15 range is how much I gained over the course of, say I started in early January, all of January, all of February. So like 8 weeks roughly to gain roughly 15 pounds. That's approximately 2 pounds a week. That is not a bad rate. Not at all. So it looks like I kind of did it all right this time, though I will say the first couple of weeks I didn't go anywhere, and then suddenly I went like way up. And then I had to scale it back down a little bit to slow shit down. So like the chart here is not a line. It was definitely a little bumpy if you were to map out my um the change in my weight over time. Um, so I don't know. I'm hoping most of it is muscle. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna give it until basically the beginning of April, maybe slightly sooner if I like really can't take it before I start cutting again. Because I want to be, back down to a as trim as I get weight for the course of summer. Just because I want to wear I want to wear my cutoffs. I want to wear my crop tops and shit like that. And I don't want to be worried about my fucking dad belly hanging out. I'm not actually. I've never had kids, but I'm built like my dad, unfortunately. I don't want to worry about that being all fucking engorged and swollen as I'm, trying to fucking survive the summer heat in my skimpy ass clothes. So, I want to be trim before summer. So it's not going to be before summer, realistically. I have, 15 to 20 pounds, ideally slightly more. Like a maximum, I want to say, like if I lost like 30 pounds, I'd be like, okay, I'm about done losing weight. So if I could lose 30 pounds from like the start of April, basically until we're already into mid to late summer, That would be great. Ideally, I would like to lose the first like 15 between April and June ish. Um, for those of you who are not very familiar with losing large amounts of weight and keeping it off, that long from the beginning of April to mid June ish to lose 15 pounds probably sounds like, oh, that's next to nothing. That's a lot of time to lose a little weight. Buddy, it is so hard to lose weight. And I'm also trying to retain the muscle. So I have to take it slow, or else some of the muscle is going to start coming off too. And, that's going to be a little bit counterproductive for the point of the whole bulking thing I just did. Um, yeah, so I gained in a relatively controlled fashion for what I'm generally capable of, and I'm just gonna chill for a while. And I got to keep lifting. I can't keep taking extra rest days and shit like that. I have to stay on my fucking schedule, and I have to keep going heavy. Um, all my lifts went up. That was pretty cool. Where they could. Otherwise, I added reps at least. Aside from my pull-ups, I weigh more now, and the inconsistency in my training has not been enough for me to, build the strength to make up for that weight change. So I do less pull-ups now than I did before, but everything else went up. So hell yeah. I started running again because the weather is finally like, if it gets below like 45 and sunny, conditions any colder than that, I just start having fucking coughing fits when I run because the wind, the cold ass air just burns the shit out of everything. Like I can feel it down in here. It hurts like a motherfucker. So like if it's colder than 45, my ass is not running. Not outside, and I don't have the means to run inside. I don't have anywhere to put a treadmill nor the money to buy it. I'm not going to pay for a gym membership. Running outside is free. So I just, I didn't run during the winter at all, but in the past week or two, there have been days above 45 where it hasn't also been raining. I've been going outside and running on those days, and it's been okay. Well, I was about to lie to you. I was about to say it's been kind of nice. No, the fuck it hasn't. Running sucks. I hate it. It's the fucking worst. Um, but I got to do it. So I've been doing it. And the fact that I have the choice is nice. We'll put it that way. Um, I'm living for this fucking weather, and I wish it would stop doing this fucking thing where it'll be like 60 something one day and then 2 days later it's in the 40s again. God damn. I work nights. So I leave and come home during some of the coldest fucking parts of the day. So if the highs are barely above freezing during the day, then my ass is shivering on the way to work and on the way home. Um, so I'm ready for that to be over. I don't know if this had happened yet by the time I last recorded anything, but I have been kind of seeing a girl off of Bumble. Um, I don't know why people give a shit, but like some of my exes are trans, some of them are not, but all of them are women regardless. This girl, she isn't trans, but yeah, she's my age ish, like a year younger than me, I think, which is still the youngest I would have ever dated if we end up dating. Um, but yeah, she's fucking cool. We have D&D in common, horror movies. We have some like games in common that she likes to play that I also like. Some music taste, but she is just, I don't know. She's adorably dorky. It's the fucking craziest thing. The first fucking date we went on, right? There's this like novelty prank store type deal here in town. And it's like a mom and pop place that's like a local legend, basically. Um, but like she likes like cosplay and stuff like that. She's also like kind of on the goth side, so all of the like tarot cards and shit at that shop appeal to her, or like the Halloween stuff. Um, So I took her there. It seemed like a great place, like for her interests and everything. The fact that she had never been there, I was like, well, shit, you gotta go. Um, so we met there, but the thing is, like, this is downtown and it's fucking parallel parking in there with meters everywhere. And so the police, of course, scope that area out very heavily. And she has bad plates. So she shows up to this fucking date, and we're standing outside the shop on the sidewalk talking, and she gets a fucking ticket right in front of both of us. And I had no fucking idea what to do in that situation. Like, I was trying to, like, calm her down because she started crying, and I felt horrible. And it's not about me. But regardless, like, as for my mindset in that moment, yeah, I was like, oh fuck. I took her downtown where there's like heavy traffic policing and she's got bad plates. Like, I feel like this is kind of my fault. Like, I shouldn't have taken her to this part of town if I had known that she had bad plates. Like, of course she would get a ticket coming out here. um I know, still not my fault, but regardless, like, yeah, she started crying. I was like, oh fuck, like, we're just meeting. Like, I've known you in person for about 15 minutes, and we've known each other online for about 3 or 4 days. So, like, I was like, I'm not gonna go for a hug. Like, that feels like too personal for like the reality of our relationship. But like, I kind of like put my hand on her shoulder and I was like, hey, it's gonna be all right. If you need help, I got you. Like, and she was like frozen on the spot. So like, you want me to go grab it and take a look at it and just like, break the news soft instead of just having you fucking read this legal speak? She said, yeah. So I brought the ticket over. It was like $100 or something, which in my position or hers, like a sudden unexpected cost of $100 is disastrous. So yeah, she was pretty fucked up. We ended up going to go get coffee after that, and the date continued. Surprisingly, like, I took this girl downtown, and she immediately got a parking ticket, and she didn't just fucking ghost me. Like, damn, this girl is a keeper. But yeah, we kept messaging for a little bit after that. We kind of fell off, like, went a week or two without really talking, and then suddenly, like, I was out on a run and she messaged me to say happy birthday because it wasn't my birthday. And I was like, oh shit, I thought she had quit talking to me. I was like, oh hey, what's up? She mentioned that she wasn't doing anything. I was like, oh shit, what if I come over though? uh, I didn't know that where that was gonna go. Like, she was like, sure, you know what, like, I'm ready whenever. And I'm like, well, fuck. I gotta finish my run and then I gotta take a shower and all that shit. And I was like, I wonder where this could be going. Like, damn, getting invited to her house. Ooh. Didn't quite go there, but we played Mario Kart, so close enough. uh, her place is great. She's got, those of you who don't know SpongeBob are going to be lost, but she's got Bold and Brash on her wall next to a bunch of other like little paintings that are definitely of a less comedic nature. So that was funny. Like, she's got like a big ass plastic skeleton hanging over her couch. She had to bend the legs up so that she could sit on that end of the couch without getting kicked in the head by her plastic skeleton hanging from the ceiling. So good. It was so funny. She's got two cats too, which I fucking love cats. So like, yeah, I'm down. It's not one of those things where, like, obviously I barely know this girl still, so I can't say that like I'm crazy about her or whatever, but like, I will say that, like, of all the things that I would be looking for, like, I haven't found anything yet that I dislike necessarily. All of the traits I'm seeing so far are ones that suggest to me that, like, she's definitely, I don't know that I have a type, but of the types that I have, she definitely fits into at least one of them. Um, so I'll be thrilled if it goes somewhere. If it doesn't, oh well, she was good to hang out with a few times at least, but yeah, of course I'm hoping for something more. it would be nice to not be so fucking alone and like emotionally isolated, I guess. Like I have all my friends and whatever, but like we're just it's a bunch of cis dudes in their like late 20s, early 30s. Like it's not there is not a whole lot of like emotional openness going around, which I'm just as guilty of. Like I have a hard time opening up to people in real life. I'm very reserved, very personal. I like my space. I feel awkward approaching anybody. I feel awkward when somebody approaches me. I don't like DMs. Even my best fucking friends, I don't message directly. We have a group chat and I just broadcast like everything I think into the group chat at any time of day. Basically just a live broadcast of my entire stream of consciousness. That's how I talk to people. Like if you try to message me one on one, like it may be weeks before I answer. I may not have much to say, but if you're in a group chat with me, you're gonna hear from me constantly. I don't know why I'm like that. I hate fucking phone calls too. So yeah, I don't have a lot in the way of emotional connections, and it's been hard. Um, that and seasonal shit from winter and all of the other stressors in my life. That's what's been on my mind, and I'm surprised I've managed to stick to any sort of particular way of eating, or I haven't technically stuck to my weights the way that I wanted to, but like at no point did I just straight up quit. Like the longest I've gone is maybe like a week without lifting, which is just to have been doing this for so long and still have that much staying power when I never did before. At least there's that. Of everything going wrong in my life right now, at least I've got one thing that I'm seemingly doing okay on is continuing this whole fucking adventure instead of just letting everything go to shit just like everything else in life has. Anyways, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. I'm quickly diving off a depressive cliff. I need to go work on dishes. I need to go do some laundry. I already had my run today. I already did my weights today. It was leg day, so that was exquisitely fun. Um, already did all that shit. So yeah, I need to do some cooking, dishes, laundry, everything else, and then try to get however much sleep I can before I go to work. I gotta take my car to the mechanic in the morning to fix a transmission leak. As if the battery situation wasn't enough. I went to get my oil changed for the first time in fucking ages, and they told me I had a transmission leak, so I need to go get that fixed tomorrow morning. And then come home and it's back to weights and running and cooking and cleaning. Yep. That's the life. I'll see you around.